If you're wondering how AI automations and AI agents apply to real businesses, well, this video is for you because I'm going to be breaking down 10 different use cases that I've applied across sales, marketing, operations, and service delivery to actual businesses. And these are not your regular n8n templates. These are proven automations that businesses actually use that drive actual value. And if this is your first time here, my name is Michele, and over the past 12 months, I've helped over 40 businesses implement AI and automations and AI agents and taught over 17,000 people in the process, all starting with zero technical knowledge. So let's dive in. All right, so as you can see here, I have everything split between operations, sales, service delivery, and marketing. We're going to go through each use case. The first use case that we're going to talk about is the invoicing parsing system. This is a system that takes new invoices. It extracts different variables from those invoices using PDFs, adds them to a database, and then sends an email to your billing team informing that the invoice has been processed. So let's say I go here to Google Drive. I drop in this kind of invoice where we have, again, the name, we have different details that we have. Because again, a lot of companies have invoices, but they have a very, very manual way of processing these invoices and adding them to a database. So all we have to do here is press execute workflow. This will start the workflow. It will download the file. It will extract the text from the actual file, the PDF, the invoice that we have in the folder. It will add it all to our invoice database. Then it will draft an email to our billing team. So if I go to my invoice database, I can see that we have invoice number, client name, client email, client address, description, total amount, invoice date, status, and payment method as well. And this is automatically added here within seconds. So if you have hundreds of invoices, it automatically adds all the details here so the company can actually have it all processed and they don't have to spend those hours every single week, month, quarter, day to be able to do these sort of actions. If I go to my email right here, I can also see that I have an email from the billing team saying we have received an invoice number from the name, total amount, invoice date, and the system has added the fields in Google Sheet database, which you can view here. So sort of like they have an agent or a workflow in this case, running in the backend, processing all the invoices that are being added to this Google Drive folder, right, which runs every single week, every single month, every single quarter, and it automatically processes all the invoices that are coming through. Now, I've implemented this exact system in multiple businesses because of the fact that a lot of businesses, they do this whole process very, very manually. Right, so if you can cut the time down to at least 95%, because they will still have to have the action of adding the invoices here, but the rest is pretty much taken care of, right? From everything being processed to the email, also to the billing team, informing them that the invoice has been processed as well. So the second use case here is a hiring system. This is big, big time for companies that are hiring new applicants every single day. And what we do here is we mix n8n with Notion, right? To be able to then track all the applicants that come through. And whenever someone is moved to, let's say, first interview, then we trigger different automations in the backend to be able to send emails to the applicants. So for example, initial screening, when someone submits a form through Typeform, which is the application form, it will then add them to the hiring board right here as the initial applicant, and it will send the email to the applicant. And so that is the same when the applicant status is changed to, let's say, first interview. We have automations within Notion here, where if the initial screening is passed, then we send the data to the webhook right here to then be able to send an email to the applicant. And this happens for all the different processes from the time that they are changed to first interview, second interview, hired, and rejected as well. Now, for the sake of time, I'm not going to be running the whole system. So if you want to check out the full build, check out the video up here. So you have everything step by step. Now, this system right here, I've implemented in multiple businesses as well. But these businesses tend to be larger businesses, ones that have a recruitment process, or even agencies making 50 to 100K a month, because now they have to hire more people, but they don't want to go through the whole manual process of initial screening, pass, first interview, second interview, and rejected as well. And this is a simplified version, but usually there's more steps to the system. But just having this here with an interface that they can look at and automations in the backend, which fire off different emails to the applicants, is massive and saves them hours and even days of checking new applicants, especially when they have hundreds of applicants who apply for a specific role. The next use case is an onboarding system. Now, onboarding is the process that a company goes through whenever they close a single client. So a client signs, what is everything that they do to collect assets, to add them to the CRM, to do XYZ, in order for them to be able to be onboarded and do the whole process within the first 72 hours. Now, companies usually spend days doing this, but with this automation, you have it done within seconds. So let me execute the workflow. Let me show you exactly what it is. I'm going to put the details here. Let's say I put my name, my email, company name, my website. I can now press submit. And this is the form that one of your team members is, or the company's team members is going to fill out to start the automation to onboard that specific client. If I press submit, this will now run the automation. It will make the drive folder. It will add all the details of that customer who's being onboarded into our CRM or project management in Notion. It will then make the drive folder. It will then create a Slack channel, which is where we communicate with the customer. And then it will send an email to that specific customer where we put the email inside that form, explaining all the onboarding steps. If I go to my Notion dashboard right here, I can see, and this is, by the way, where the agency HQ, where the agency would be managing all their clients. I can go to clients. I can see that the client has been added right here. I can also press this button, which generates a client portal for that specific client, which you can then use as well. And the tasks for our team have been generated with Deadlines as well. And if I go to my email, I can also see that I had an email saying, welcome aboard. Here's your onboarding folder, and a whole onboarding email that typically the company would template it, but they will send it manually. Right? So we saved them the time of making that drive folder, of adding it to the CRM, of doing everything. If I go here, this is where now they can store all the different assets and documents and folders of that specific client. Now, this is one of the systems that I've implemented the most in businesses, specifically agencies, because every online-based agency has an onboarding system, which means that they have a process that they go through whenever a client signs, to make documents, to add them to the CRM, to inform the team, to email the client, and so on. And so with this, you're able to basically say, hey, you can now onboard twice as many clients, you can make more money, right? So that's what this automation does. It really is an ROI automation that once you implement it into a business, it saves them a bunch of time and makes them a lot more money. All right, so now we go on to sales. This right here is a human in the loop AI sales agent. Let's actually execute this and show you how it works. We're gonna start by filling out a form. All right, so I just filled out the form, and this form right here wouldn't be on the team side, it will be on the customer side. So this is a form that you would have on your website or something that the customer would fill out. In this case, we have my name, email, company name, the intent. So what is it that they actually want? What's their budget? What's the description of what they want? And what's the timeline? I'm gonna press submit. What this will now do is it will add it to our sheet. It will then use an AI agent to be able to draft the sales email. And we will also use previous projects to be able to incorporate that into the email that we send. Now, what it does is that it sends us an email to be able to review the sales email. So if I go here, I can see that we have action required, new lead with budget of $1,000. In theory, what I would do is, let's say I respond to this. Let's say here, are you available for a 15-minute call? Let's say, don't ask the 15-minute call question. Just say, we are available at 2 p.m. So this replaces the person actually having to write the email for that specific client. And as you can see in the email, it even includes a testimonial. So some results that we get from another sheet, which I'll show you in just a second. So we look at the email that the AI drafted based on the intake of that lead. We press submit. Now, if I go back here, I can see that we had a text classifier, which classified the feedback that we gave it as something that's denied. We didn't approve it, we said denied because we want feedback. It then sent it to the next AI agent to redo the sales email based on our feedback. And then it goes here again and it sends us another email to be able to check. And as you can see now, it doesn't have the question, but it changed the email based on our feedback. I can respond, and now I can say, yep, looks good. I press submit. What this will do is that it will now classify it as something that is approved because you said, yes, that's fine. And it will send the email to the lead. In this case, I put my email here. I can see that I have lead generation automation project available today at 2 p.m. And then this sends a whole sales email to that specific customer or lead that came through with results as well. So we recently delivered a selling solution for a real estate firm, creating 100K in pipeline, which is an awesome email to send to someone who just filled out a form stating what they want, right? And now we have a whole process that's pretty much automated that allows the business to be as efficient as possible in running their sales emails with results as well, to be able to convert more people. And the way that this fundamentally works is that the lead will fill out the form. It will then add it to our new lead intake Google Sheet, which is the one right here. We have my name, email, company name, intent, budget, and so on. So they have a track of every single person that filled out the form. And then what it does is that when the AI sales agent needs to draft an email, it also goes here and pulls in the relevant results that we've gotten for that specific client based on what they want. So if they want a lead generation service, then we pull the results of, hey, we helped the lead generation, or we helped a real estate firm generate more leads, and it pulls that into the actual email that we drafted for that client. And what that does is it increases the conversion because now clients see results and they don't just say, hey, yeah, we can help, but we can help. And this is how we've done it before. And again, you can apply this to pretty much any kind of business, as the sales email is something that can go out to any industry. And the only thing you would have to change here is the projects that you've done before and maybe the questions that you ask on the form. All right, so the next system still within sales is a LinkedIn connection message automation. So let me run this and I'll show you exactly how it works. So we start with the form. we can describe our target audience. Let's say I want to do real estate agencies in the US. I can press submit. What this will do is that it will generate a URL, which will then send it to our first scraper. And scraper just means that it goes on LinkedIn or Apollo in this case. It uses Apollo to scrape thousands of leads or at least hundreds of leads and gets their LinkedIn profile URLs, which it then uses to get the data. It will then send it to AI to generate a highly personalized outreach message that we can use on LinkedIn. And then it will send everything to our Google Sheet. So if I go here, I can now see the ID, the first name, last name, the name of the person, the LinkedIn URL, the real estate verified, the photo URL, and the icebreaker, which in this case is the main thing. And the icebreaker in this case is the connection message that you would add when you connect with that specific person. Now, this right here can be connected to your outbound campaign. As you can see, more being added here. They can be added to your outbound campaign, which is great because now you can have the whole process automated from the moment you put who you're targeting to the moment that you actually send the connection, and it's actually personalized. And the good thing about this system is that it's basically free, because to scrape these leads right here, it is costing us $1 for 1,000 leads, but we get $5 free on Apify. So it's pretty much game because we can only connect with 900 people every single month. So again, this right here can be connected to your outbound campaign, and you can sell this to pretty much any business that automates or that has their business centered on LinkedIn, as they need to connect with people. It's something that they have to do to expand their network. And if you have a personalized connection message, that increases the likelihood of someone accepting back. And now you can have a conversation and make more money over time because you have more people that you can reach out to. All right, the next system right here is a YouTube comment scraper system that scrapes YouTube videos from a list of channels. It then scrapes the comments of those videos. It then checks whether the comment is relevant or is an actual idea that we can use, and then generates the hook and the outlines for that specific topic and adds it to our content database. So let me execute the workflow. What this will do is it will take the content channels that I give it. It will scrape the 15 most recent videos of that channel. It will then use Apify to scrape 100 comments from those videos itself right here. And then we actually get the different items that we had right here. As you can see, we scraped 628 comments. It then goes to the AI 50 at a time to check whether the comment is actually a relevant topic that we can talk about for our target audience. Then for the ones that are relevant, in this case, only 10 out of 50 were relevant. It then makes the hooks and the outline for that video that we want to add, before adding everything to our Notion database right here with all the topics, as you can see, that are being added with the hooks and the outlines as well for that specific video. Now, this system right here is great for any YouTube agency that has YouTube clients, because a lot of the times they have to come up with the ideas, because the way that they do that right now is manually. They have to go to the YouTube pages of their competitors, so their clients' competitors, see what they're doing, and also look at the comments of those videos. And this does everything automatically. It looks at what people want from other people's channels, which are your competitors, and gives them fresh ideas with hooks and outlines of videos that people actually want, that is actually relevant based on who we're targeting. And I know that this works because I use it myself every single day to get new ideas from my competitors in the space, from what people want. All right, so now we get to service delivery. This right here is a vector database AI RAG agent where we start with documents. So we start with dropping in a document in a Google Drive folder. In this case, this is an FAQ document that a company would have about what the general information, account logins, orders and checkouts, shipping and delivery, returns and refunds, payment and billing, products and inventory that customers would usually ask for. So in this case, we drop it in the Google Drive folder. What this will do is it will then add it to our vector database in Supabase, which is the one that I have right here, where this is the content of that document, which is split, right? And there's a whole thing behind it. But what it does is that it turns this into numbers so that someone can go and then chat to an agent. So let's say I ask it, what is your return policy? Right? It will then query the agent. So it will query this vector database. It will then give us an answer in natural language saying, hey, here's the return policy. So a 30-day window, products must be unused, the original packaging with tags intact. And it gives us a whole answer based on the information that we added here. So you can imagine how any company, especially e-commerce stores that have customers that have a lot of products, a lot of information about their products, they can add it to a vector database, which is a place where we just store documents in a very specific way so that customers can talk to an agent, and the agent can go and retrieve the information from this database that we added documents to. Now, this is great for any kind of business that has to answer the same exact questions every single time to their customers, typically e-commerce stores, because people would usually ask, when's your shipping policy? where is this, what's this, and what's that, right? They would have to answer these same exact questions every single time. So with this, you basically break it all down into seconds, and now you save hours, days, or even weeks answering questions depending on how many people you have that you can now devote to actually growing the business and doing different things. All right, so this right here is another AI agent, which is a very similar one to the one before, but we added another functionality, which is the functionality of getting emails from people and then having the whole process automated. So let me show you exactly what I mean. So I'm gonna go to my email and send an email to this inbox, which in this case, this would be the company's inbox where we receive all the different inquiries. So I'm gonna say $100 peanuts. I'm gonna say return policy. Hey there. All right, so I said, hey there, what's your return policy? I'm gonna press send. This will now send the email to this inbox right here. And again, this automation you would run every week, every day, every 2 hours, every 5 minutes, right? Depending on how many people you have or how many people the company has that are DMing them or emailing them with different questions. All right, so we can see we just got the email return policy. I can go back here. I can now execute the workflow. This will now get the email that we got. It will classify the email based on whether it's promotional or anything else. What it will do then is it will use an AI agent to query the vector database right here to then be able to answer the email draft. And then it will also send us a Telegram message to our team saying, hey, we just drafted an email to your inbox, which is the one right here. Novamart policy here. Thank you for reaching out to Novamart. I'm happy to provide you with the information about our return policy. And then it gives them a whole structured email, giving them an answer for the specific question that they had. And this email right here is now a draft that when the team receives this email, new inquiry received from Michele Torti about return policy, action email drafted to your email, they can now go here and they can press send to the customer. They just have that additional step to review these emails, of course, before sending it to the customers to make sure that everything is right. Now, this is big time for businesses who have a lot of inquiries on email, asking the same exact questions, as you have an agent that can draft or that can look at the vector database as if it's looking at different documents to reply to that email, gives it in a very, very structured way and tells our team, hey, we just drafted an email to your inbox responding to this customer about this. Can you go out and check it? And all the team has to do is go to their drafts and they can send the email directly to the customer, which saves them so many hours of having to reply themselves and making it structured. And let's be honest, everyone uses AI anyways. So they would just have the whole system doing it for them. And now onto the final side of the business, which is marketing, which is one of the most important ones. Here we have an infinite content loop. What this does is that it pulls recent news on AI. It then checks whether the news are relevant to our target audience. It then makes a LinkedIn post, Facebook post, Twitter post, and article post before adding it all to our sheet right here. So I'm gonna press execute workflow. And again, this would run every so often, every day or every week, whatever it is. Now what it will do is that it filtered out the news. It will make a draft for that specific idea. It will make a LinkedIn post. It then does the same for Facebook, for Twitter, and for articles as well. And it brings it all back to our Google Sheet. So now we should be able to see the idea that's added, which comes from the article right here. So this is the most recent news on AI, and this is the most relevant article. We got the LinkedIn post, which is actually pretty decent. The Facebook post, the article, which is in markdown format, which you can now use for WordPress or whatever it is that you have to do, and Twitter as well. And now you have different ideas that are added every single time you run the workflow automatically for you. You can run this every single week, every single day, every single hour, whatever it is. And you have a whole content library for 4 different platforms. And again, this keeps on running because we just ran through one idea, but we have 20 ideas or 20 different news, right? So he'll keep circulating until it's finished. And you will be left with a database full of content that is there that you can now post automatically. This system right here is massive for people who want to generate content, whether that's individuals or teams that don't have enough time to research the latest news on this, and they want a whole database full of content that's optimized, that's actually relevant to date, that they can now post to their platforms. This is amazing. And I've personally implemented this in dozens of businesses, especially these exact content systems, because businesses need to generate content. They don't want to, it takes too much time, and they use AI anyways when they do it. So might as well just have a system that does it all for them. And as you can see here, what I did is generated a post brief before generating the post, which increases the quality of the post and makes sure that we have sort of like 2 employees working on a platform, right? One for the post brief and the other one actually making the post that we want to make. And the last one right here is a workflow that generates creatives using Gemini's new Nano Bananas image model. I'm going to show you right here. Let me go to execute workflow. Here I can say, combine these 2 images to make it look like it's a high quality, pristine, I don't know if that's even how you spell it, shampoo advertisement. Right, whatever. And then we go here, and we take the image of me that I just took and also the shampoo bottle. So in theory, what this should do is that it should create the creative ad that we can then use for ads or for whatever it is to basically market the product. Let me press submit. What this will now do is that it will turn these images into a public URL. It will then talk to n8n saying, hey, can you make the image of these two combined? It will then wait before querying the next node, the next step to get data. It will then get the data. It will then upload it to Google Drive. And then we get an email with the actual creative saying this new n8n image. We can go here. And now this right here is the advertisement for that shampoo, for this product right here, with the image of me, which is a bit off, I'm not gonna lie, because I'm more handsome than that. Here we have what the company is gonna now use to market the shampoo. And they can have unlimited creatives done with different people and the product to be able to market. Now the system right here is great for agencies, specifically creative agencies, because they have to create creatives every single time, right? And now with AI, they can combine different images, they can do different things, which previously they couldn't do, especially now with the new model that n8n made, Gemini's model, which is absolutely insane. And it allows them to make creatives at 10 times the speed at 1/10 of the cost. So that right there marks the end of the video. And if you want the exact blueprint to every single workflow and AI agents that I've built so far in this video, then make sure to check out the first link down below, which will take you to my free school community. You can go to the classroom section, you can go to the templates vault, and then here you will see every single video that I've done so far with all the different blueprints that you can download into your own account. And if you have no clue how to do that, no worries at all. I even left a tutorial right here. Here's a quick tutorial showing you how you can import the blueprint to n8n into your own account so you can get going right away. And if you apply to get in and you get accepted, then you also get access to the AI Automations 101 course, which is the course I wish I had when I got started, which is a very comprehensive way of you learning automations from zero to your first automations that now you can build for yourself or for other businesses. And if you're someone who wants to dive deeper into n8n AI agents, but has no clue on how to get started, then check out this video on the screen where I show you step by step how you can build your first AI agent on n8n from scratch with no technical knowledge required. With that being said, I hope you found value from this video, and I'll see you in the next one.